All right. We want to start thinking about how personal injury can help and affect Gen Z. And to be honest, I don't know what it is. It sounds really fancy, and I feel like I should know. Like if I ever go on Jeopardy, I'll be like, here's my personal injury fact. So far, I don't have any. I need your help.
Let's give you some personal injury facts
please.
Just in case we make it to Jeopardy. Generationally, part of the difference is, when I grew up, the lawyer commercials were on TV every night, and we didn't have as many TV stations or different segments of video content as we have now. And so we were bombarded with those ads.
If you have scars, broken bones, burns, paralysis, any permanent injury, I want to go after the cash, the insurance money, the damages the law allows.
And that's what happened.
I'm sorry to say, Mr. Leahy, that according to your policy, you're not covered in bowling accidents.
Call me, and let's talk about size. Lowell, the Hammer Stanley, 459 cash, 459 cash.
Because I'm wearing this fancy blue suit? Bull. I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call. No BS. I'm the anti-lawyer.
Thanks, Santa! Brian Wilson, the Texas Law! Yeah! Ho, ho, ho!
I've read a lot about negative stigma that comes along with personal injury, but like when I was growing up, like lawyers are always something that have been hailed as like one of the best careers you could have. Lawyer, doctor, like there's so many shows about you guys. So why is there a bad rap here?
That's a very good question, and I think it starts with the moniker. Well, I'll go ahead and throw it out there, and I'll say it. It's a bad word to me, but ambulance chaser. I think people like to say ambulance chaser. It's like, whoa, ambulance chaser, you ambulance chaser. There used to be a lot of illegality involved in the industry. There used to be a lot of shady practices and bad actors. And that to say that ambulance chasing was something illegal. There would be people that would go try to meet with accident victims in the hospital or go meet with accident victims at their home and get them to sign up with a specific type of lawyer. And that was where the term ambulance chasing came from. The thing is, ambulance chasing is illegal. It's called barratry, and it was illegal then, and it's still illegal today.
That sounds like a really fancy word.
Yeah,
barratry.
Barratry, right? It's a fancy one, but it basically means ambulance chasing. You go to a place like Vegas these days, and you see those lawyer billboards everywhere throughout the city.
Yeah.
But you don't get the same type of saturation of advertising and information like you used to about personal injury cases.
Interesting. So without these legal ads, we're kind of in the dark here. So how do we start to uncover what this is? What does Gen Z need to know?
Well, that's a very good point, and that's why we're here today. That's why I'm out doing this type of stuff, to try to inform this generation, of more than anything, the rights and responsibilities after an accident, to make sure that you're protecting yourself, because there's so many different things that can go wrong. There's so many different ways that people can take advantage of you. That's why we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just for a free consultation. So anytime somebody may need us, whatever that may be, we're here to answer questions. And even if it's something that we don't have handle for them, we're here to help them and get them directed to the right place.
So wait, after every car accident, I should call a lawyer? That's a thing?
Absolutely. That's how I feel about it.
Explain.
So let's start. So you've had a car accident, and so what I like to say is PDA, after a car accident.
We all heard it in high school, but now we can use it for a good thing.
Was it not a good thing before?
Well, it's not really what I wanted to see on my way to bio class.
Fair.
But
probably not what you want to see on the highway either. We'll stick to police, doctor, attorney.
Police, doctor, attorney. Okay, so can you walk me through why we need to do these things more specifically? Just why would I need to call the police? Maybe it wasn't even a major accident. Why would I want them on the scene necessarily?
So as you're at the scene of an accident, obviously first and foremost call the police, get the medical attention you need, and thereafter, much like you would in any sort of potential litigation or legal matter, you would want to talk to an attorney before talking to anybody else involved to make sure that you're protecting your own rights. Does that mean it's necessary or appropriate to hire a lawyer for every single car accident? Not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's worth having that free consultation, see if it is appropriate for you, and know what your rights are, so that if you do decide to go it on your own, just know the risk that you're incurring, because there are different degrees of risk involved.
So when you say rights and all of these things that you're protecting, what are some of those things that we need to think about after an accident happens? I've been in 3 car accidents myself, but
I'm sorry.
I mean, they were all little fender benders, but other than calling insurance, it's I don't even think about like I don't even know what there is to think about after that, other than, oh my God, I have a bunch of bills now for my car, and also my mom's mad at me.
Well, you set me up perfectly when you said insurance company, because that's the biggest trap that exists out there. And most people think, oh, they're my insurance company. I paid them for years. They're going to take care of me.
Right.
And I don't believe anything could be farther from the truth. I used to work for a few different insurance companies, worked on the claim side of things, and the deck is stacked against you from the beginning. It's beset with all sorts of traps that could either disqualify any sort of claim entirely or greatly diminish the value of any sort of claim. So you need to know what you're talking about before you jump in and just call the insurance company and say, hey, I want you to take care of me, because they may not always do so.
Whoa, okay, so even though I pay monthly for this insurance, they're not looking out for me when I need them.
And I feel like I don't need to point out that insurance companies are big corporations,
Well,
and
yeah.
corporations are just looking at the bottom line, and the same is true with insurance companies.
Wow. Okay, lawyers cost bank. How are we supposed to afford you guys?
Important question. I mean, the first question, obviously first concern is like, how am I going to pay for this? Totally get it. Most personal injury lawyers, they're going to work for you for free unless and until they're able to recover something for you. So what does that mean? Basically, it means you sign an agreement, you sign a contract and said, hey, lawyer, if you're able to get something for me, you'll take 1/3 of that settlement. So the lawyer incurs all the risk, does the work for years in some instances before getting a settlement. And then if they're able to get you a settlement, then they take a portion of that settlement. And if they're not, most lawyers, well, obviously there's not going to be any fee whatsoever, but most lawyers also won't ask for a cost back. So anything that a lawyer spent to help your case, whether that was getting medical records or anything else that's going on there, they front that cost. And if they don't win a settlement for you, they don't ask for any of it back.
Wow. Okay, so that almost sounds too good to be true. Like you only have to pay really for your lawyer as long as you get the costs covered for yourself.
Correct. I mean, it's almost like a win-win situation. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you try it, and if something happens, they're not able to recover, then you're not out of pocket anything.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about these settlements and these recoveries. So if someone gets into an accident and, unfortunately they do get hurt, right? So what are these things that they need to be covering in these settlements? I'm guessing medical bills. What else can they incur? What else do you guys kind of help them get?
Totally. So I think you're getting in the nuances of what makes a personal injury case worth something?
Right.
What determines that value?
Right.
And if you do an online search, you're going to find all sorts of misinformation on this. It's just like misinformation on anything else about what's real. But the biggest driver of the value of a case, first and foremost, is the medical bills. What was the medical treatment that was involved? And from there, what was the injury that was involved? Is this something that they're going to be living with for the rest of their life? Was this something objective that happened? Or is this something that resolved and they're back to 100% and they're back about their daily life? That pain and suffering, both in the past and in the future, if that's going to be a concern, and also future care. Also, in a lot of situations too, in the more severe accidents, people may be out of work for months or even years. And so we've got to incorporate that value into the value of the case as well, and trying to get that money back for our clients.
If you were in an accident and you got hurt, most likely there was somebody else involved. So when you're recouping these costs, are you suing these other people? If a grandma hit me, am I going to be suing that grandma?
That's an important consideration, and I like that you said grandma, because that's the one I always throw out there too. It's the fear is always it's a little old grandma that hit me. I don't want to go sue a little grandma. What is that? So for clarity, in most situations, we're not suing anybody.
Oh.
We're able to recover the majority of our cases settle without ever filing a lawsuit. And that's true across the United States. Most cases settle without ever filing a lawsuit. But if we did have to file a lawsuit, we're going after the insurance company. We're suing so that the insurance company will step in and the insurance company will put the money out there. The money doesn't come out of grandma's pocket. The money comes out of the big pocket, the big corporations, the insurance company. That's who we're trying to get your recovery from.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess speaking to Gen Z and this future of really looking forward to, I'm sure you guys are doing social media advertising and looking towards streaming and all of these other methods of communicating with people. What are your hopes for the industry moving forward, and how do you hope that they can communicate better to this upcoming generation?
Well, I hope we get to a day where, cars are so technologically advanced
Yeah.
that they don't run into each other anymore. But, until we get there,
Yeah.
I want to, just emphasize that, if and when you're involved in a car accident, call a lawyer, get a free consultation, and see if hiring a lawyer is right for you. As we talked about, the consultation is free. There's no risk to you. If you don't recover anything, you won't owe anything. So at least make sure that you're protecting your rights and don't trust everything that the insurance company says, especially when they're asking you for information after a car accident.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Rock on.